and give a bit of an excuse. And I'm still excited for everything. So I don't want it to all be doom and gloom with what's going on. It's frustrating, but we've said all along it's gravy playoffs. This stuff is good. It's experience. Blah blah blah, and hopefully it ultimately is that in 2 years or 3 years when this team is raising a Stanley Cup banner, and we look back at this run and say, hey, it was helpful. Those guys got those couple of games in, and it was the best thing for them. So, we just need to look to the future. It was never about this year, and just be happy that we're getting some meaningful games here in August.
Yes, in August. Yeah, well, like I said, we have said it over and over on this podcast that as far as the future is concerned and all the interchangeable parts, and it's a win-win whether they lose or whatever they do in this tournament here or whatever. But to me, again, I what stands out is just the way the team played, and I think it ultimately, like I said, I do like Coach Quinn a lot. Really looking forward to something, big tomorrow night in terms of, and it's not, see, tomorrow night for me isn't so much, I'm not going to throw it too much on Quinn. I mean, obviously the way that the game gets played and how he starts running his lines and everything, but I just really hope that system changes tomorrow night. I just hope we see a team that knows they have the potential to beat these guys and just steal a win tomorrow night. And I hope for the fan base and all of us who's been, following this team and the wind got taken out of our sails there in March, give us something to cheer about tomorrow. If you're going to go down fighting. Hopefully it's a wild, just great game to watch tomorrow night. And I hope they win, and I think they will win. I really do. I hope they can just figure out a way. I'll give Quinn that opportunity. Like I said, they made adjustments, and then they found a rhythm, and they were able to play through some of the deficiency. And, yes, the goaltending was huge, definitely with Shesty and Georgiev in there. And it's not to put a bad thing on Hank, but I will go back and say I think if Shesty's not – they're the only ones who know. And I think Georgiev just seems to be he's just a stable kind of guy. I just think it would be good to see him in there because even if he does get rattled, and again, I'm repeating myself, then you can put Hank in or whatever. And this obviously all is if Shesty's not 100% going into this game, how do you put him in that game? I don't know. I'm just rambling.
I'm looking forward to the most tomorrow? A night game.
Yes.
I'm sick of the noon starts.
Yes, I know.
Monday at noon? I mean, I get the whole situation, but we're the Rangers. Like, get us in prime time.
Well, hopefully
I'm looking forward to that tomorrow.
Does anybody know why they got they got the early games?
Yeah, because nobody cares about Carolina.
Yeah, I guess so. Terrible.
I mean, it makes sense ratings-wise to have, like, the Canadians versus the Penguins, in prime time. But, look, we're 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so that'll be good. But I think
Rangers just not a prime time team anymore.
That's right. I think from the get, tomorrow you'll know, if this team, if it's the same team we've seen the last two games, or this team is going to play, inspired hockey. If you see them going to the net, that'll be, the big tell for tomorrow. Which way is this game going to go? Because ultimately, it doesn't matter if Georgiev or Lundqvist or Shesterkin is in goal tomorrow.
You put Georgie Boy in there tomorrow. It matters.
Guess what? Georgiev can, throw zeros up for 100 periods in a row, but if the team isn't scoring, it doesn't really matter. So,
but that's what you want, right? I mean, that's the whole big argument, right, with Hank. Let's just bring this back out, right? So the argument is he didn't make the big stops, right? When you need your goaltender to make the big time save when your team is struggling offensively, especially on a power play and everything. He wasn't there for them, right? So that's what you're talking about, right? So now you're just saying Georgiev can get in there and shut him down and be the wall and no score. Now it's okay for Georgiev, but it's not okay for Hank or versus vice. I mean, what's the story here, KD? You gotta commit here, okay? I'm committing, all right? If Shesty is not 100%, I don't care if he's got a scratch on his elbow, he sniffles in his nose, or he's got a bad toe. He does not play tomorrow night. And you put Georgie in there, get some stability. You win the game. I'm telling you, Georgia will backstop them to a win tomorrow night, and then Georgia takes the whole series, and then you will have to get me a Georgia jersey. How about that?
I've already said Georgiev has to play tomorrow. If Shesterkin isn't healthy, he should be in there. And look, if that inspires the team, great. But I agree. I mean, I don't. Lundqvist is not in the playoffs. You need your goalie to steal you some games, and he hasn't done it. Not in the first two. He was part of the problem today. He didn't make the huge save in the first game. I don't think any of the goals that he let in game one were bad goals, but he also didn't steal some of those saves either. So,
hey, look, one thing we didn't talk about either, too, Katie, the Rangers' defense down low in front of the net is just horrible. I mean, you can look at the highlights, man, and you will just see guys just following the puck, not watching what's going on in front. I mean, to me, that just drives me crazy, too. It's just basic, fundamental defensive hockey, and they play so bad down low, man. It's just horrible.
Yeah, I mean, they're soft. And what's even worse is, you look at Brady Shea throwing like a big check on Foss that takes him out. It's like, where? I don't think I've ever seen him throw a big check during any of his time with the Rangers. So, but yeah, look, they got to play. They're not playing playoff hockey right now. They're not playing tough. They're not being hard, whether it's in front of their own net or in front of the Hurricanes net. They're making life too easy on the Hurricanes. And again, I think the Hurricanes came in with a chip on their shoulder. Everybody counted them out. Oh, the Rangers are gonna. I guarantee you that every expert picked the Rangers to win this series.
Absolutely.
And you even you had Brenda Moore and the Hurricanes management saying they didn't like the way it's not fair for them. I don't know if that was like a mind game thing they were playing, sort of like a Herbie Brooks strategy to have the team sort of hate the coach and us versus the world sort of mentality. But they've come in playing much harder than the Rangers and with something to prove. And again, I think the Rangers are out there thinking if they just got to go through the motions.
Dude,
and that'll be enough.
They're not a great hockey team, but they're a good hockey team. Didn't they?
Of course they are.
Didn't they knock the Caps out last year?
Yeah, they were good. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals. What was that, 2 years ago? I mean, they're a good team. So, again, you don't want to just come down on the Rangers. I'm sure a lot of what's happening out there, where the Rangers' offense is being stifled is that the Hurricanes are playing very good defense. But, what are we doing to combat that? What is Quinn doing to change up, our philosophies, whether, going through the neutral zone? Why are we not dumping it more? Why aren't we carrying it in here? Or, how are we breaking their, trap that they've got going on? So, again, where are the in-game adjustments? They're just not happening to, the Rangers strategy. And again, you start evaluating Quinn and, what is he doing here? Is he able to make those in-game adjustments? So far, no. And you hope maybe tomorrow that changes. But ultimately it's up to the play.
That's how you become a good coach in this league. You make adjustments, win that game tomorrow night. Make the adjustments and find a way. He's got the talent. He's got the talent from the back of the net all the way up front. There's loads of talent on this team right now. They've got the skills to do it. He's got to find a way. That coaching staff has to find a way to get these guys to be playing the way they were playing at the end there. They've just got to figure out. You have to lose 3. They're not out of this yet, okay? They win tomorrow. I'll be feeling really good about this team. Just make the adjustments. And if anything, if they do lose tomorrow night, late goal, overtime, or something like that, I'll take that too. It'll be crushing or whatever. But as long as we come out of it tomorrow night, for me personally, that Quinn made the adjustments, the guys up front, just ran the gambit, and we see Coach Quinn adjust, and we see these players step it up. Like I said, you got to lose 3. They haven't lost that third game. Go out there tomorrow, gangbusters, and just go for it, and just play good hockey, and stick it to them. And I think if they win tomorrow night, I think they can get it to a Game 5 because tomorrow night, if they win, and if they win handedly, and they tire the Canes out a little bit, and then they get a day off, it'll be huge. And that's when the intensity starts coming up there, Katie, right? So just it's plain and simple. Win a period, win 2 periods, win 3 periods, win that game, and then we move on. And let's go for it, man. What the hell? And then me and you, if they lose, we'll have a sad story podcast to close out the season. But hopefully we've got room and time here to. Hopefully they force us to me and you to have a lot more shows here before the end of the summer. What do you say, pal?
Yeah, I mean that, or we just pray that like COVID shuts everything down tonight.
Oh, come on, man. Here I was thinking, I would say something like that. Yeah, you never know. Maybe a couple of the Canes get the COVID tomorrow, whatever. That's horrible. You can't think that way, man.
Dude, I said before, we wanted sports so much. I'm looking forward to COVID shutting baseball down in a week.
Oh, stop,
I'm sick of this Mets team.
All you
man.
Met fans want the Yankees to win. Yeah, I get it. All right. Look, man, this is good stuff. It's great. I think what the league is doing, I think the hockey's been good. I think it'll just get better. You got the other, 8 teams there doing the, preliminary rounds, whatever the heck it is. But these best of fives are good, and they're just going to get better. And look, we got to be thankful. Our sport, our league is leading the way here. They're healthy, and it's working really good. And I think once we get past this, I mean, even if the Rangers get knocked out, I'm still watching this damn tournament because I think it's really exciting, some good stuff. And I'm kind of bummed I haven't been able to watch a couple of the other games. I watched a little bit of the Islander games the other day. I mean, geez, Trot's got. Just want to talk real quick about this. The Islanders don't have all this all-star talent on that team, all right? They got a pretty good goaltender in there. They don't have a goaltender issue. It's Varlamov. Boom. And then they've got Trotz, who's just one of the best defensive coaches in the league, right? And they've just got some good guys there, but they play really good defensive hockey, and they're so frustrating. But the Islanders, I mean, it's only one game, but that experience and adjusting and just getting the team to play a system was huge in that game for them the other day. And I think that's going to be huge for the Islanders going forward. And if they do get past the Cats and going forward, they're going to be a really tough out. Again, we have to see what happens here. And again, I'll just swing back again. Rangers win tomorrow night. They make the adjustments. The guys put the pucks in the net. I think it's full steam ahead. They can beat the Carolina Hurricanes. It's a best of 5. Let's just freaking go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to win,
man.
but
You're supposed to be damn right, brother. Let's go.
Despite what's going on, I'm gonna, I don't care what you just said about the Islanders because I hate the Islanders, but
I do too. I bring it up as far as a coaching adjustment. Trotz had his team. I know it's one game, but he had his team playing like they were playing before they went into that slump. So it's a complete opposite. And Quinn has a chance here. He's got a chance to turn things around and get it going tomorrow night. That's all we got left, right?
Yeah, I think the most important thing that you said was that hockey's back. And I think that people should enjoy it. I mean, it's frustrating to see, the Rangers lose. I think it's always easier ahead of when the team loses to say, I'm just happy hockey's back. But once I don't care if they lose. I don't care if they lose 100-0, it gets swept. It'll be worth it. Once it's happening, it is always tougher. But, having said that, just think about where we were a couple of months ago when, there was no sports. There was nothing going on. The bubble system that the NHL has put together has worked out, beautifully so far. And it is great to have games, to sit down and watch with my son and, going to have this, elimination game tomorrow, and we've seen so many game 7s over the years and elimination games that this team has been in. So, enjoy it. Get our minds off of all the other craziness that's going on, in the world and in this country. So, I do appreciate that it's back, and as frustrating as it is enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I do hope to see some lineup changes to spark something, and Yeah, it's just been nice to get a little bit of normalcy back into life.
Absolutely, that's the main thing, 100%. And like I said, these guys they're healthy.